Hey guys, welcome back to That's Crazy Podcast. If you're new here, hello and welcome. And if not, then welcome back, you guys. Today is episode 2, and we're going to be talking about toxic family / people in general. Whoo! So I'm going to be throwing in a little, toxic advice, and also just my own personal experience dealing with toxic family and people. So let's get started. Let's just dive right into it. So to start off, I have grown up with toxic people in my life since the get-go. I mean, I feel like everybody has. I hope not everybody has, but I feel like we all have had our experiences with toxic people. I feel like especially living in a Hispanic household and growing up with Hispanic family members, it gets more toxic because son más llevados, everything's a joke to them, and they make fun of you for certain things, and I feel like that's where it gets toxic, and people sometimes they don't realize it, or they get away with it, or they're expected to just it's okay, there's no boundaries, and I feel like that's not okay. I feel like everybody has boundaries and everybody needs to respect people's boundaries, but let's just jump right into it. So I feel like growing up, I've always seen people being toxic around my family, and I feel like I kind of always pointed it out to my mom and stuff, but she's always kind of like, ay, mija, es tu tío, or es tu tía, or así son, or así es, and it's like, no, it's not okay to let certain things slide because, oh, así son, or that's how they are, or that's just the way they are, it's fine. No, people need to respect people's boundaries and feelings and stuff like that. But my mom's house was always the place to go when I was younger, for family events, or family get-togethers, or for comidas, or my mom's house was the kick-it spot. That was a spot to go to. So we would all get together all the time. So I would see my family regularly, on a regular basis, and I feel like for the most part it was a really good time. I enjoyed it. Growing up with family, I feel like is really important as an adolescent or growing up, because growing up alone or isolated isn't good for you. I feel like you need to have that interaction with your family and that love, that genuine love, not toxic stuff, or genuine, people who actually care about you and your family and stuff like that. I think that's very important growing up. And I feel like for the most part, I had that, but I did see a lot of toxicness and a lot of what the hell is going on here? And I'm not going to name any names or expose anybody's business or anything, but I just want to share some experiences of some of the toxic things that I'm why was this okay, or why was this allowed, or so so my mom is a really, really nice person. She's honestly probably the nicest person I've ever met in my life, and she is so sweet, and it honestly angers me to see how nice she is to people. She can literally not say no to people. People take advantage of her all the time, and it literally angers me watching her be so nice. I literally tell her Mom, no, say no. Sometimes I'll have to jump in for her and be like, no, she can't do that, or no, she's not gonna do that. But anyway, it's not my place or whatever, but still, that's my mom, and obviously I don't want to see her getting taken advantage of. But my mom is really nice. My mom doesn't live here anymore in the United States with me anymore, but when she did, she was a person for everything. You needed a babysitter, she was the woman to go to. You needed something to be cooked, she was the person to go to. Like, my mom was like the go-to for everything, and I honestly love that. She's amazing. But you know, like, I feel like everybody loved my mom, and my mom was very loving. Kids love my mom. Literally all the kids adored my mom. My mom is like a kid magnet. She is so good with kids. It's crazy. But being really nice and stuff like that, really, you know, it's literally a magnet for people to take advantage of you. And sometimes I would see, you know, certain things that I didn't like, and I would be like, Mom, like, you know, you need to defend yourself, or you need to say something. Or sometimes it was things being said or done about me or something, and I would tell her about it, and it involved, you know, like a family member, and she wouldn't really say anything or do anything about it, and it would really bother me, because I would be like, why aren't you doing anything, or why aren't you saying anything about it? And, you know, it comes in correlation where she was just really nice and didn't want to confront anybody, or didn't want to cause any drama, or blah blah blah. And it was just like, no, like, it's not okay, like, we need, you know. But anyway, there was this situation where, you know, I know that everybody talks about everybody. It's a normal thing. I feel like we're humans. It's natural that everybody's going to talk about everybody, you know. But there's a difference in talking about somebody and talking shit about somebody. Bringing them down, bringing down their person, or even making things up about them, you know. But, you know, everybody would talk to my mom. Everybody would talk to my mom, you know, everybody. Then all of a sudden, you know, things just changed. I am no way perfect. I know I'm not perfect and nowhere near being perfect. But I don't do anything to anybody in a sense where, you know, let's just say people talk. I heard some things that were said about my mom. And they were complete bullshit, honestly. And it's crazy. It baffles my mind, though, that the source that it came from, like the person saying these things, like how okay, let me regenerate this. The person making these things up about my mom, or saying these things about my mom, like, oh, like, you know, she said this about you, she was saying this about you, and you, and you, and blah, 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 right? It baffles my mind, because this person would literally tear this person, rip this person to shreds. The person that they're telling, that said that supposedly my mom said this about, right? This person would rip this person to shreds, like horrible things, like nasty things, right? And now you hear them saying, like, oh yeah, like this lady would say this about you, and blah 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 blah, you know. And it baffles my mind that that person would actually, for a second, believe the things that this person is saying. Like, how, sis? How? Like, how do you not put two and two together, ma'am? Like, you know what type of person you're dealing with. You know you do. How are you going to take this person's word for it? I mean, it's fine. It's totally fine that you did. Cool. Like, you know, it's not tearing us apart. We're not, you know, like, it's good. It's all, everything's fine, you know. This, like, you know, we're not, no nos estamos muriendo sin ti, you know, like, everything's cool and dandy. But it's just an example of how somebody knows how somebody is and how toxic that person is, because I know for a fact that they know. Like, I know they do. And they still take their word for it. And it's like, ma'am, how? Like, really? And like, so how would you believe that this lady who literally says can't say no to nothing, who is the nicest person ever, who was literally there for you for everything, how are you gonna just, like, cut them off, pretty much cut them off and take somebody else's word for it, and put, like, my mom is no longer here in the presence to defend herself or to say anything. Not that she would even confront, because she is too nice to do so. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy because none of these things are ever said to you in your face or confronted to you, or even like, let's fix this. Like, what's going on? Are you saying this about me? Like, what's happening? No. They're said behind your back, or they're said to everybody around you except for you, and then you come and hang out, or you at a family get together and everybody's looking at you like, oh yeah, did you hear that so and so did this? Or, oh, okay, literally you're the talk of the town, but yet you're still invited to the family get-togethers by the person who started the rumor. Like, make it make sense, sis. The toxicity. Like, what is the reason? Why? Like, does that make you feel good about yourself? Like, do you not have anything better to do than make things up about people to make yourself feel better? Or, like, And another thing that baffles my mind is people will have disagreements with, one another, whatever, like, in between families. And people would take, like, a certain person's side and they'll stop talking to the other person. And it's like, how? Like, why? Like, what did that situation have to do with you? Like, why do you have to stop talking to the other person? Like, really? Like, the drama, the toxicity that, like, I don't know, like, it just baffles my mind how people will stop talking to you for the stupidest shit and turn it into, like, this whole, like, oh, well, they did this, or, like, oh, no, but because of that, or, no, well, did you hear? Like, instead of staying united, instead of staying together as a family, you rather rip it apart even more. It's gross. It's ugly. And honestly, like, my circle is so small that it's so small. It's so small that I literally, it's so small. Circle, super tiny. Super tiny. I love all my tias and my uncles. I love them all. God bless them all. Yes. But I literally have a handful that I feel in my heart that can still, call and be like, hi, how are you doing? And I feel like they actually care about me and my family and actually want to see me, or actually, like, actually are interested in me, Yeah. Like, I literally, that's all. And it's sad. It's really heartbreaking that people were like, oh, like, I'm throwing birthday parties or, like, whatever. And they're like, oh, who are you inviting? Oh, yeah, just my tia and, like, my cousin. And and that's fine. Like, I'm content with it because, I feel like those people are my real ones. Like, they're the people that have stuck by my side. And I'm not, like, asking for freaking ride or dies to come do, crazy shit for me. Like, no, I'm literally asking for the bare minimum, sis. Like, don't talk shit behind my back. Like crazy shit. Like I know people are gonna talk. I know that. It's normal. But doing crazy shit, like making things up about people, talking crazy shit about people, like, no, that to me, no, sorry, cut off. Like, I'm not doing that. And the phone works both ways. If you really do miss me, you really do love me, and you want to hang out, you want to interact, cool, call me, let's talk about it. Don't ignore the elephant in the room. I will reach out to people certain amount of times, and then that's it. Honestly, maybe it's a bad thing, maybe it's a good thing, I don't know. But me as a person, you mess up with me in a shady way, and that's it. Honestly, things will never be the same between us. No matter if it's a friend, no matter what the type of relationship is, it will never be the same. If you do some shady shit to me, the relationship never be the same. I may forgive you, and we might, be cordial and whatnot, but just know that it will never, ever be the same. Ever be the same. And anybody who knows me well knows that that's true. Once you do me dirty in a shady, and I find out about it, and I forgive you, and we're cool and cordial, it will never be the same. So, yeah. So don't do it. If you still want to be cordial with me, if you still want to be cool with me, don't do it. Pretty much. No, but yeah, like if things are not working out, or something happened, and I'm reaching out to you, or like, hey, how you doing? Hey, we want to hang out. We should hang out. And, I'm not getting the reciprocation from you, then okay, cool. I get it. I get the hint. I'm not a beggar. I'm not going to beg for attention that, I obviously see that you don't want to. For example, let me give you a perfect example. I have a cousin. Me and her literally used to be the bestest friends ever. Like, we were inseparable when we were kids. Like, we were the bestest friends. We were everywhere together, doing everything together, knew everything about each other, literally. We grew apart, whatever, we're adults. We hang out, here and there. I reach out to her, here and there. It's reciprocated. I feel it. I'm there. I'm invested. I'm there because it's reciprocated. Now, if I'm over there just reaching out to her, and it's not reciprocated, then okay, then it's like, oh, well, yeah, she's not really feeling it, maybe she doesn't, cool. Then I would stop reaching out because I would feel like she doesn't want that relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to beg somebody to want to hang out with me, to want to talk to me, because that's, why? Don't do that. Don't be that person. So if somebody's reaching out to you and you do want to have a type of relationship with them, reach back out to them. Reciprocate the damn energy, sis. Even if you can't actually hang out, even if you're so damn busy that you can't hang out, replying with a message or just reaching out saying like, hey, how are you doing? Is something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah. Point is, cutting toxic people off is just, it's fine. Do it. Because it's not good for you. It's not good for you. It's not going to bring you peace. Toxic people hold you back. They pull you down. They weigh you down. They don't bring peace into your life. And all they bring is drama and bullshit into your life. Honestly. Oh, so-and-so said, like, literally, they make things up about you. I don't understand how people can make things up about people. Like, they'll literally be like, oh, so and so said this about you, did you hear? And it's not even true. Like, how? What is the reason for that? Like, I literally witnessed so much toxicity, and I'm like, damn. And sometimes I'm like, damn, like, I wish I could just tell you, like, girl, this girl just, but none of my business, not my place. But at the end of the day, the most toxic people usually are family members, and it sucks and it's sad. And they're sometimes your biggest haters. Instead of them being your biggest supporters, they're not. Sometimes strangers help you out more. They hype you up more. They cheer you on more than actual family will. There's rare occasions where family will, you know, be there, hype you up. You know, I'm the type of person that if you're doing something cool, making videos, whatever, and I see it, I'm just gonna like it. Even if I don't finish watching it all, even if I don't even like the content you're making, or I'm not, you know, it's not of my interest, I'm still gonna like it. Why? Because I know, one, I know you, and, you know, I want to see you do good. There's room for everybody to do good. And I'm just going to like it to support you. Every single one. I'm going to like it to support you because that's just the type of person that I am. But you cannot expect anything from anybody because nobody owes you anything. Even though you would think and hope that they would be there for you and give you the same energy that you were giving them, they don't. At the end of the day, they're not obligated to do that for you. But, you know, just keep being you, I guess, because good karma is always good, and that's the type of person that I am. I see it so much where I see so many people that I would feel like I would hope, or that would just like my video just because they know they know from the very beginning that I've always wanted to do YouTube or whatever. And you would think that they would just like my video, even if they didn't finish watching the video, or maybe they didn't even like it. But if I was them, I would have just liked it just because I know that what they're striving for, and I love them and they're my family, and, you know, whatever. But most of the time, those are the people that just scroll past. And it sucks, you know. And that's fine, because it's fine. It's totally fine. I don't expect for people to do those things because, you know, I've learned already. But it sucks. It really does, because I am the type of person that would do that for you. And it sucks when it's not the other way around, you know. When it's not, you know, when that type of energy is not reciprocated. And now I'm not expecting, like, you know, for you to fucking be my biggest damn cheerleader. But, you know, little things like that matter, and they really do help. And, you know, yeah, it is. I'm taking this too personal, but toxic people are everywhere, and sometimes it's hard to see the red flags. And don't think that just because it's your mom, your dad, your grandma, your sister, your brother, don't think that just because it's the closest people to you that they're not toxic, and then that you can't cut them off, because you can. It might be hard, and it might be easier said than done, but you can do it, sis. And you don't need toxic people in your life. So, and I mean, I'm not saying just cut them off like psh. You can confront them, tell them about it, try to fix it, and if they don't want to, you know, fix it, then that's when cut them off, because you tried. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this episode because we're getting a little too into it and too personal, and yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. In the comments, your guys' thoughts or your guys' experiences with toxic family. And you know, this isn't directed to anybody. It's just, you know, it's just examples and experiences. And if the shoe fits, wear it, sis. Bye, guys. See you guys in the next one. Bye.